this is our Toro North project with a biotite alteration, which is pointing us towards the direction of probably a porphyry, significant porphyry that we are about to conduct more work and uncover there. In the picture is Dr. Steve Garvin. He's my chief technical advisor. This is his visit from October last year up in the Andes where the project is. And he's on his way to the site as we speak yesterday, and he'll be there working with my exploration director, Jason Ward. I'll leave this competent person and legal for your investors, our viewers to read. Just to quickly, we got 3 projects, 2 in Australia. On the East Coast, we have a copper zinc project called Belararox project near Dubbo. That was a project we used for IPO two years ago. We did a very successful IPO, 20 cents. We were up to about $1.50 3 months after trading. And come down with all the global pressures and other reflection of the other market condition. But in the last 12 months, we acquired a project in Argentina through a gentleman called Jason Ward, and he had been putting together this project called TMT project over 20 years, where he lives with his family in Mendoza. And this came to me through my key broker, who represents a large block of my share register. The project is, as I point out here, is a red line here. I'll show a bit more detail in the next slide. It is right next to an operating mine called Belararox, which is a BRX operated mine, large operation. And immediately north of us is 2 large projects, which are pretty much highlight of the current copper discoveries called Filo del Sol, which is owned by BHP and London. Filocorp is a company, one project company on TSX, market cap $3 billion roughly. BHP paid $100 million to acquire 5%. And Josemaria is the next project where London is spending about $4 billion to set up a brand new copper mine. So it's a belt which is known for called the elephant country. It gives you big copper porphyries. And we have got very prime land of 320 square kilometer between those 2 proven projects and other around us. So project came with Jason Ward, and he's very accomplished geologist, 13 discoveries to his credit. Him and Steve Garvin discovered Cascabel, 3 large porphyry system for Sol Gold in Ecuador. And they made this a small company into a multi-billion-dollar company. So it's a great team, great project, good region. That's what we have. And I'll just show you my corporate slide, led by legendary chairman, Neil Warburton. With him, myself, we are the founder, and including Jason Ward, we represent about 25 to 30% of our register. Very tightly held register. We're only 71 million shares on issue right now. And when I did this tables, which was used in the RIU presentation last week by Dr. Garvin, shares were 24 cents, market cap about 17 million. And today's share price ran a bit sort of, to be probably close to about 28, 30 cents, which is pleasing to see. So these 2 gentlemen, Jason Ward and Dr. Steve Garvin, are the key driver of the projects, and both very accomplished A-grade geologists and have the world-class discoveries to their credit. Just showing you the project, where the project is. Again, this is the red one, which you see 320 square kilometer area, South Belararox. So the access to my project is via Belararox Road. So you go from San Juan, be on the road for 7 hours, 6 hours you're on the Belararox Road, and then 1 hour you turn off right and get to my project, which is 45 kilometers. And we got the road, so we can take any type of equipment to the site where the camp is set up on the southern side. We also have camp to the middle of the project, which is called Malambo. And we are now working to establish an access to go all the way to the north. So we have a fully manned 24-man camp and about 20 people working on site, 8 geologists, 10 field leads, and a couple of support staff. And these people are mapping my targets, the 11 targets that I have on site. Just to, before I go to the next slide, if you look at what you get in that part of the world, if you look at the Filo del Sol, one of the intersections they got was 1.3 kilometer long intersection at 1.33% copper equivalent. They are very rare, kind of, you come across them once in a lifetime, those kind of intersections. So once we got the project last year around September, we did this study, Western Sentinel-2 data. Based upon that, inferred all these different established where the intersections were with the northwest and east-west structures. You can see the Florida Sol sitting there, Jose Maria sitting there, and then if you look at in my ground, based upon similar interpretation, we got about 12 Florida Sol lookalike targets, which were ranked by Dr. Garvin from A1, A2 to B1, B2, B3s. And you can see Toro South, Toro Central, Toro North, Tolambo, and Tambo. They are our key focus, key targets. So far, with all this big team of geologists that we have got in the camp at Toro, just around here, Toro, southern boundary of Toro, that's where the camp is. We have done the mapping of Toro South, Central, North, and we've done some observations around Malambo, and we are now getting ready to go up to Tambo South, which would be our probably #1 target when we start drilling, but early days. So once we have done this work, which is about 435 samples sitting in the lab, some of the results will be announced soon once we finish our analysis. And similarly, when we do the finished work at Malambo, we'll be finishing that work, followed by geophysics. And the combination of geology, geochemistry, and geophysics will tell us, start to look at the drill targeting ranking, and come after the winter season, which is there for about 3 to 4 months, starting in May to September. Hopefully come back in September, October, we start drilling for some of these targets that we believe are very important targets. This is just a comparison I'm not a geologist, I'm a mining engineer, so I'm learning a lot from Dr. Garvin and Jason Ward. So this is where the resource, Florida Sol resource is, which is very significant, about 600 million tons, about 0.6 to 0.7% copper equivalent. And just one project, they have a market cap of 3 billion, where BHP, as I said before, is heavily invested. And if you look at the scale and the color of the rocks with this muscovite, porphyroid, jarosite, and chlorite, we have very similar target and a similar size. This is the Tambo South, which I showed in the previous slide, which is ranked one of the top targets for us. And this really excites the team that I have in terms of comparison drawn from Florida Sol to this. And if we can get a sniff of what Florida Sol is, obviously the 20 million market cap would seem like very little compared to the 3 billion market cap Florida Sol has. This is just to show you the work the team is doing. This is my team working up in the site, which is about 3,200 meters above sea level. And some of the vectoring of the copper zinc ratios shown over here. And this is the area that was newly found. This was never ever found even in the satellite work, which is a biotite alteration, which pretty much like porphyry eye, it's really begging for drilling, but we won't rush the drilling as yet. We will just complete systematically all the work. As I described before, we do the mapping, sampling, and we do geochemistry analysis, and then we do the geophysics before we commit to do any drilling. But there are targets like this which are ready for drill almost. This is another one that shows you this part of the geology, that biotite alteration and some other features here. That itself is a very interesting target, and this is the picture I showed you guys before. This is what the B veins look like, and as some of the geologists will understand, from the porphyry system, you've got A veins, B veins, C and D veins. So we are seeing many of the B veins in our rock samples that we have collected, all pointing towards that we have porphyry style mineralization, and obviously some other part of mineralization is epithermal style also. This is another picture that Dr. Garvin uses a lot, which he keeps telling me, go west. This is where you find a lot of joints and fractures, and concentration of all these various geological features is telling us that's where is the next target for us in that part of the project. That covers my TMT project, which is my main project, copper in South America. In addition to that, we have 2 projects in Australia. This is the WA project, which is lithium project, very close to a recent discovery of future battery metals on the same granite contact, and surrounded by all this big lithium activity going on, up to 300 million ton of resources that are being mined or developed around us, which is near Coolgardie. And we have a 5-kilometer long anomaly. This is ready to drill, about 6 targets defined for lithium. And also the same area happens to have the gold anomaly. Hopefully some of the holes we drill probably intersect both at different depths. But this anomaly has been established after doing all the work leading to the drill targeting, which is doing all rock chips, and 2 rounds of soil sampling and every other work that required. And the soil sample results peaked up to 324 ppm and really ready for drilling at some point in time in future. And also on the New South Wales side, the 643 square kilometer area, which is near Dubbo, and we have drilled 2 projects, Belararox Native B. Now we have a resource of 5 million ton at 3.4% zinc equivalent. And the long section, as you can see, the Belararox, which is the main resource model, is a high-grade shoot running down towards north. So we plan some holes in future to extend that resource, high-grade shoots running south, similarly at the Native B also. In addition to that, we have done a lot of regional work to see the reputation of Belararox Native B, which is here, and see if the 25-kilometer strike, unexplored, untested ground will give us the repeats of the same resource, similar resource we have established at Belararox Native B. So apart from testing the depth, the strike possibility, and on the eastern side, there is a Mabel gold field that we have not begun the work yet, which have had some previous mining done for the gold. So plenty of news flow coming up as we finish all those 12 targets that I have got at the TMT. Each one will have geology, geophysics, geochemistry. We announce the results between now and May, when we take the pause for snow season to get over from May to about August. And during that period, we'll analyze all the data from the 5, at least the top class projects, and see, and then start getting in the ranking for the drilling. And after the winter season, we go back and start drilling probably by October, November, and then start releasing results after that. So I'm assuming 20 to 30 announcements between now and before the winter kicks in Argentina in the next 3 months. And in Australia projects, our New South Wales project will do the regional exploration, and also the lithium and gold in WA will hopefully drill some holes in the coming months. So in summary, field exploration at TMT is continued with the A-grade team under the leadership of Dr. Garvin and Jason Ward. We are looking at geophysical methods that we will be soon commencing the geophysics work at the site, and we'll probably be drilling for lithium and gold in WA and do some regional exploration work. In summary, for any exploration company to be successful, you need 3 things. You need the ground, which is a good geological postcode. You need the team that has done it before, proven track record of uncovering that kind of deposit, and the money. So I've got 3 things all aligned to Dr. Garvin and Jason Wood. Great team, surrounded by big players, got the porphyry signatures on surface, need to drill, and I'm supported well by the market. It was reflected in my share price, which has been very good compared to a lot of my peers. So that's all from me.